Me too. He always has a little bit of trouble with the stage.
I think he's on mobile.
Yeah.
Epsy doesn't want to. The reason he does not here today is he doesn't want to fight me on pizza politics. I was prepared and he wasn't.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna stream on Twitch. Yeah. I know they were asking in the chat. So yeah, you can live it up that if you want.
Yep, we're live.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, like what toppings are the best?
I'm pretty open to anything. Pineapple, mushrooms, whatever. Just not anchovies, man.
Oh man, pineapples is something only communist countries do. In Hawaii, that's it. It's the only place it's authorized. I think that's a law somewhere.
I feel like I ordered some not that long ago. Well, people will cycle in as we go, so we can light up. I've got our agenda on screen. Squared wrote up for him before she hit the airport. We broke 300 members. Little over, well, I guess we're a little under a month old. I think we're still getting people signed up on the website. 60 or 70 folks on the site, still getting all our members to actually sign up there. So if you haven't already, omnigaming.gg, go sign up. You literally just sign in with your Discord. It's super hard. Unless you're Xylo, then it is actually super hard. No, the next week we're gonna make zero progress on our website because Taylor is flying to Texas for family vacation that he very much deserves. So he got us to a point where we can have people sign up, where we can track attendance for primary squad. He's got the ranks and positions lit up, but we can't track multiple squads, so website's there. Family updates. Well, shoot. Fireman, if you can join and talk, we'll have you. Otherwise, we'll have to skip family updates because we have no family staff. Unless you want to speak for Destiny, Vet.
I can speak a little bit for Destiny. I really would like to get. Well, I can actually. Shrewage is here.
Sorry, just joined. What's up?
Do you want to talk a little bit about some Destiny progress?
Sure. Yeah. So we had a few new recruits kind of come in, and we had a leadership meeting community meeting last week with the Destiny folk, and we came to some really good decisions about where we want to take our little group into the future. And now that we've got full family staff, and I've got one district staff, and I'm going to open applications here for a second one soon. So we're growing pretty rapidly. I think we've got 30 to 40 folk now, somewhere in that number.
Awesome. Yeah, the last I counted, we were at 39, and Project Ewok in onboarding right now makes 40.
Cool. Yeah. And we just recently reworked some of our channels to kind of clean things up a bit, make it a little bit more efficient for the new folks to find some resources.
Saw that. So easier to look at for like raid notes and PvP builds and stat bots and things of that. It's a little bit more clear.
Yep.
Yeah, Destiny's on a good track right now. Destiny is booming, and they're busy, active all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
There's always somebody almost every day.
Yeah,
there's almost every day.
It's always somebody in voice just hanging out. Even if they're not playing Destiny, they want to hang out with each other. It really is a family over there. So.
And the group is really welcoming too. So, even if you've never played Destiny before and you need help with the campaign, even or just a random activity, like always someone willing to jump in and help.
Yeah, Destiny's on a great track. Man, I would really love for Fireman to come up here. It still shows his hand up, and I've invited him to speak about 15 times. I don't know what's going on with
Fireman posted on Discord. He can listen in, but he can't speak, and he posted an update.
Oh.
I didn't see where he posted an update.
It's down in the Family and Above channel.
Oh, okay. Right on. Let's see here.
We don't read. We don't know how to read. Is why we don't.
Sorry, I got so many screens going on with the. Okay. So Fireman's just getting home. For COD, he just opened his 10th squad. Attendance has been great. East Under Boss has to step down due to some new work requirements, but he's going to fill that position here pretty soon. He's back from vacation, ready to rock and roll. Call of Duty is also one of those, just from what I've noticed, because I pay attention to the Discord a lot, like 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. These guys are in voice, just waiting for somebody to play with. Also a pretty welcoming group, even if you've never played Call of Duty, or if you're like me and you hate Call of Duty and you're just like, oh man, and give this another shot. It's been 3 years. Let me try it again. Oh nope, same thing. Okay, never mind. If you're like me and you do that every now and again, I shouldn't trash Call of Duty. This last one was way better than the last few. So yeah, Call of Duty doing well. Overwatch. Albo, you want to take Overwatch?
Yeah, we got 2 squads in the east side, so our European folks, and then we have 2 squads in the west. Soon to be a 3rd squad in the west. Got another group of competitive folks kind of lighting up. I think I've been playing with our Bastet, whatever the heck. They're in the process of renaming themselves. I think we're gonna be Mayhem, hopefully. But anyway, that squad's doing well too, having fun. I think we are still trying to find our way in how competitive we're going to be. But overall, a lot of fun in Overwatch. Not much to it. 5 squads and growing. I think people are continuing to have like this interest where they want to play once a week, like they're in Call of Duty or Destiny or something, and they're like, you know what, I want to play Overwatch once a week. We're starting to get a lot of those types of requests. So, yeah, doing well. Let's see. It says community team update. Mike Palso to provide. Do we have a Mike Palso willing to provide an update on the community team?
Is there spare one of those?
Sorry, guys. My wife's watching Puss in Boots, and the TV's super loud, so I'm having to be in another room. Okay, first off, I've been kind of out of commission this week due to dental stuff, and I'll be out of commission the next week. So if you are needing your onboardings done, I will try to be in the waiting room Monday through Wednesday between 9 and 5 PST. So if you need your onboarding done, or you know people that need to have your onboardings done, make sure to kind of hit me up in between that time. We do kind of need I guess for us as a community team, we're going to try, since we're getting an influx of people, we need to be able to have more people on board, more than me, just because obviously I'm not as Superman as I thought I was. So that's one thing. And I'm not sure necessarily if there's a way that we could probably divide something, because I know Fireman's been doing onboardings, I know Shroom's been doing onboardings, you all have been doing onboardings, but maybe if there's some way that we can kind of spread the love around, maybe down to battalion positions or whatever we're calling them. Sorry, my mind's not there right now. That's one thing I have. We are looking for social media professionals. So if anybody in the community is a social media professional or is really good at that stuff, we are trying to get our everything worked out and needing people that would help us post content and make OG look amazing on the interwebs. And after that, I guess on Wednesday, I believe at I think 7 p.m. Eastern, Shade and I are doing our International Hot Dog Day stream. So if you guys are wanting to watch us eat some crazy hot dogs and just be silly and learn some weird hot dog facts, feel free to join and watch us.
That's awesome. One other community team update. We have a new advocate of the community, a new conciliaire who joined us. Aeon is now on our community team, so welcome, Aeon.
Thanks, glad to be here.
Speech.
So the one thing I totally forgot. Sorry, Aeon.
It's good. I only was appointed to my position at 4:30 this morning, so it's all good.
Well, it's good to have you back.
Thank you.
It says naming convention for. Oh, we have a poll running. I like to call practices, but some folks don't like to call practices. So they're like, "Hey, man, that sounds too serious. I want to not call it a So you guys have an opportunity. The community will decide what we're going to call practices. And right now, it looks like session is crushing everyone's soul. So if you don't want it to be called a session, you got to go vote. If you do want it to be called a session, go vote for session. Update on rank images. I don't really have an update. So we commissioned the same folks who made our Omni Gaming logos that you guys voted on. Those folks are making all of the rank images. I expect to have our first draft of the first rank image soon. And once we kind of like look at that and agree what it should be as a community, we'll have them draft all of the rank images for Street 1 through Street 9 and Officer 1 through Officer 11, boss of all bosses rank. That should be coming up in the next week. Oh, might have to go read. Stand by. Server boosters, you guys are absolutely insane with how many people are boosting the Discord. We have 36 boosts. And I need to list off the people who are amazing because they boosted us. So give me just 1 sec. Roll. And
Sorry, I'm drum rolling.
old man has to figure out how to freaking find. But there we go. There's 21 of you mother jokers. So Alpha Wolf, Beatlemania, Bio, Bud Zeus, It's Sprinkles, Lixer, Neuromancer, Chester's. I boost this one. Nuka, Shrimmage, Vane, Osnick, Only Use a Frag, Primus, Sparks, Wolfie, Typical, loser, Unhinged, Valhalla, and Valorous. Thank you all for boosting this place. We definitely appreciate it. Let's see. And agenda says, Hobo, talk about. Oh, you already talked about your Glizzy event, but you called it a hot dog event. What's that Glizzy?
Oh, it is glizzy, but it's technically it's International Hot Dog Day, but glizzy is just another name for hot dog.
Got it. Okay. Next weekend on Saturday, we're not going to stream it because we don't want live, but we are going to record a D&D session that Mystic is hosting for us, and we will put that up on the YouTube. If you want to sign up, then hit up Mystic. I don't know how many slots we have left. We have a store. Oh, do you want to cover anything on the store event?
What do you mean the store? The merch store?
Yeah, there's a store in the works. I don't think we have any big details, but
Not yet. I'm still coming up with it, but I could use ideas, to be honest. You know, whether you guys want hoodies, coffee cups, water bottles, things of that nature, I need to know what kind of things and what would sell the best. So just look for a poll on that one. I'm going to come up with some base ideas, run a poll, see what gets popular there, and then I'm going to take some input from the community, add those in, and come up with a final store. That's really the update right now. I'm still working on it.
toilet paper. I don't know if I want you wiping with the OG logo.
Gotta hate Nuka-Cola.
Just bumper stickers that say girlfriend for you.
It'll be so Dread. It'll be pretty affordable. So for any of you guys who Peakmaster might have a little bit of insight to this. What I'll use is just basically I'll use my Prime membership over at Streamlabs to just use their store. So it won't be like one of those things where they just gouge you and you have to buy 50 hoodies of each size in order to get a price break. It won't be like that. It'll be a made to order type thing. It shouldn't be. The last I looked, don't quote me on pricing here, but like hoodies were under $30. And t-shirts were like $22. So I mean they weren't like dirt cheap, but they were better. They're not like gouge you, things like that. Mouse pads. Actually floated the idea of putting my face during the mustache competition on a mouse pad for once. But I didn't want to scare the children, so.
Yeah, at my job, I got all my team members who are cybersecurity Turbis, a cup with my face on it that says "Go Save America," and they love it. It's always sitting at their desk. So, just kidding. They threw those away. But yeah, we can make whatever. I would like to see Vet getting hit with water balloons on a cup.
That's going to happen soon. I did want to provide an update on that, guys. I was going to do my pie and water balloons today, but it is pouring cats and dogs outside. The objective, I talked to my brother-in-law. We were going to hit me with pie and water balloons, and then I was just going to get a running jump and go into the pool. But they would hit me with the pie and the rain would instant wash it off, and getting hit with water balloons while you're standing in the rain, already not fun, and I didn't want to do it inside my house, so yeah. You gotta remember, Frag, I live up by Cleveland.
It's raining here in Florida too, to be honest. It's been raining all day, so
It's 120 degrees here. It's wonderfully sunny.
oh, excellent. That sounds terrible.
I'll take 120.
I want to hit. So we had a good discussion last night. I don't know if putting Ian on the spot is appropriate, but this is our leadership meeting where the dons and outfit heads and stuff, our family staff, get to weigh in, and we're transparent, so y'all listen in. But here's the rub: we don't. Well, the conversation as presented to me last night, family staff should not be able to ban people. They can kick people, and they can technically ban somebody from Discord. But we want to limit who can permaban for life somebody from OG to like Vet and I, because not many people should be getting banned. And when we do it, we want it to be permanent. Kind of want the community team to have an opportunity to weigh in. Obviously, if somebody's got a screenshot of somebody being racist or something, like, okay, I don't really need a whole lot. But I want to hear you guys. I feel like the family staff, Shroom, as the only member of family staff who could attend today. Why don't you give me your thoughts, man? Do you think it's okay if you can't ban people? You got to tell that.
I think it's, Don's family staff, even and above, can recommend a ban, but I don't think it should be up to us. I think it definitely should be higher.
I just want to interject here for just 1 second. Per the discussion we had last night, I feel like at some point, we'll have to put together some proposal and discuss it and stuff like that and iron it out. And it wouldn't be taking away like all the power from the family staff. There'd be like kind of like a limbo, right? If you think somebody should be banned, you can put them in limbo, which basically temporarily times them out whilst the request to ban them goes up for a final decision. It's not like you don't have any control over members that you think need to be banned. It's just, it kind of eliminates, if somebody deserves to be banned for like a blatantly racist something, that's easy, right? There's no gray areas there really. The potential problems that in my mind need to kind of be avoided as much as possible is when you've got somebody who should be banned, but for whatever reason, the staff's not comfortable doing it for a variety of reasons, or taking the responsibility, or saying, hey, this guy's going to be perma-banned. And then situations where, heaven forbid, you have staff that is over-banning or wanting to ban someone that shouldn't really be banned. And so by kind of taking that responsibility off the shoulders of, like Don level, and bumping it up higher, then that kind of eliminates that problem. That's just kind of my initial first pass on that. Like I said, I'm happy to put together a proposal with kind of some more details that can be discussed and thought over.
Maybe what we could do, like she's kind of hitting, I guess I'm gonna add on to what she's saying, is we could have the Dons pass it up to us, and then what we could do is we could put it to a vote, kind of like have a little court thing in our council thread that we have. So that way,
I don't want the community team to vote. I know they're not the ones making the decision, so let's make that clear. The community team will get the info, but a community team member does not ban. Vet and I, in the chain of command, the two of us would make the decision.
Okay.
mean, that's what we're proposing. I'm not saying we can't change it, but it is not. I don't want it to seem like the community team is the chain of command over the dons and whatever. They're not. They're supposed to be the voice of the member, making sure the members are heard. And
Also, just a neutral third party too.
right, exactly that. That is-
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Mr. Bill
like,
asked to speak to. Oh, sorry, Pete. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say like a nice real world comparison. I feel like of what our conciliar job is like is kind of like you got your union rep who is looking out for the worker, but is in constant contact between the worker and the boss, right? So we're not above or below anyone. We're just the bridge between the two, and maybe that's a little bit easier for.
Fun fact: the
envision.
mafia started 10 plus unions. But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Little,
Well, I also think that probably something kind of more, I won't say formal, but kind of a little bit more fleshed out. I mean, I'm not saying it's not appropriate for us to talk. This is my first meeting, so I don't know what's appropriate, not appropriate for this. But just to kind of put together something as a starting point for discussion, and then see how that goes. And right now, we don't have that starting point. It's just some ideas that need to be put together at this point.
Hey, Mr. Bill, I want to get to you, but I have two things real quick. If I could just have the floor for 30 seconds. Mr. Bill, happy to let you speak here in a moment. Two things. One, first thing I want to talk about when it comes to banning and bannable offenses and bans within this community. The onboarding process and the 30 days that follow the onboarding process, and then the second interview with all of our 30 days after the candidates, that should eliminate the need to ban people. If we're finding ourselves with 10 plus bans a week, we're not onboarding correctly, and we need to revisit that subject first before we go changing up and making bannable offenses and things of that nature. Two, the question that I would pose to you guys, and like I said, I always like to play devil's advocate and give you the counterpart of the argument, is what sort of problems could we see if we said, hey, Vet and Hobo are the only ones that can ban people? I understand that people can be toxic in Discord and they can do racist and awful things. Great. If you give me a screenshot, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to wait 24 hours to ban somebody, and I'm not even going to hear them out, right? If I see that you put something awful in chat and there's a screenshot of it, you're going to be gone as soon as I get that DM. And the second thing is the family staff will still reserve the right to kick people out of Discord and ban people on the Discord. And they should, unless I'm wrong, and Hobo corrected me, they should have the right to go into the website and suspend you on the website as well. But as for the permanent ban from the Discord and permanent ban from the website, I think Aeon's got a good talking point there. That can be facilitated by Hobo and I, and we should not see an influx of bans. If we're seeing an influx of bans, we are not doing our onboarding correctly. And I'll say that, and then I'd like to give, unless anybody has a counter to that, I'd like to give Bill the floor, because he asked to speak.
Yeah, he waited. He said it a while ago. We can bring Bill up if you don't mind.
Sure.
You should have an option to come up, Mr. Bill.
I think what he was trying to do is we should establish a list of bannable offenses right away, but I'll let him talk. I don't want to talk for him.
Yeah, I'm not going to try to guess what Mr. Bill is going to say, but I did look over our published list of rules, and that's something I kind of want to bring up for discussion at some point as well too, as to making sure that the language is clear and inclusive of what we will and will not tolerate as a community in that set of rules.
What's up, Bill?
You're muted, by the way, Bill. He's scrambling, smashing buttons on his phone right now.
So while he's trying to figure that out, I just wanted to. I posted in the chat, but I think there needs to be some accountability if people have that ability to kick and suspend on the website, that won't be misused, or inter-family drama doesn't get in the way, and then someone gets kicked because of this and this and this and this. So I think you two need to be involved, and that there should be some sort of plan if that feature is misused, right? There should be some sort of accountability.
I'd like to field that if it's all right, Hobo.
Yeah.
So, with that, I think you're absolutely right, Peak. But the great thing about the structure of this community is your job's not guaranteed. If Adon is misusing his power, abusing his power, the community has a pretty big voice here. And like I said last meeting, if 75% of your division hates you, chances are you're not going to be at the top for very long. And our community team has pretty good thumb on it's not a popularity contest, right? Leaders have to make hard decisions all the time, sure. But if you're hated and you're being called out for something constantly, we do these weekly leadership meetings, and the community is not going to hesitate to call a frog. So in the most accountable way possible, you're going to be held to your actions. And that's because
I
of the
hear you,
structure here. Go ahead.
Yeah, I hear you, and I think that I think that the community that we're building is definitely where we have members who have the same values that Omni is there to support. But I don't want for us to just say, yeah, like that'll be settled in a group the court of the group opinion. I just want to be sure that in the event that maybe something gets out of hand, and we could say, hey, Hobo and Vet looked at it and chatted with the community team, and you're really going off the rail, and we haven't had any. I just want it to be clear that
Sure.
despite the community might have outrage, that it will be very clear that if you misuse that, then there's going to be a consequence. You won't be in that role anymore.
Right. Hobo and I are pretty good at analyzing data too. And I got to tell you, if you're a Don that bans 10% of your members, I'm going to start raising questions. If you're a Don that bans 20% of your members, then I'm going to have some real hard questions for you. And I'm going to field that data to the community team saying, hey, what is the deal here? So Aeon, I think we got away from Bill's question about having clear gold standard rules about what's like an insta ban. I feel like you're chomping at the bit to take that one.
Well, I got a couple things to say.
Sure. Go ahead.
First thing to kind of address what Peak was saying. There is no banning below the level of Hobo and Vet. And to say there's a kick, there's really no such thing as a kick under first what we were discussing last night, right? You can put family staff can put somebody in limbo, but you can't keep them in limbo forever, right? There's going to be a time limit on how long limbo is going to go until Hobo or Vet makes a decision, and then they're banned or they're not banned, and that's it. And if you've got family staff that is putting a bunch of people in limbo, Hobo and Vet are going to notice that because they're going to have to make a decision about that. So that's going to be noticeable. So it's kind of built into the system as far as that goes.
Well, I agree with you, but I do think a Don, let's say a member is posting nude pictures or whatever, like somebody at 3 a.m., a Don should be able to ban someone from the Discord. Now I'll see that.
Well, yeah, that's the limbo.
Yeah,
that's the limbo.
All right.
Okay, we were confused on the limbo access. I was like, what do you mean?
The limbo, no. So I think we kind of need to move away a little bit from kind of terminology we've all been used to for years and years and years, right? Ban is ban. There's no new definition of ban, right? Ban is ban, right? And this idea of limbo is, maybe it's justified, maybe it's not, but until it's sorted out, from the family level, you can put in limbo. So you cut somebody off right there, and within a certain amount
That's
of
a
time,
timeout, right?
It's like a timeout. Exactly right. So that
I
person,
just want to use the Discord terminology. So when I right click on,
Sure.
let's say, gaming chef, I have the option timeout, kick, and ban.
You mean I could do this to
so-
Nuka the whole time?
So let's say Nuka goes on a tirade, right? And we're like, okay, we got to deal with it right now. Like
Yeah.
we have those three options to us.
Yeah.
So what do you think the family staff should be able to use? Timeout, kick, or ban, or all three? That's
well,
so we're all on the same page.
Here's the thing: we're talking about details for something that doesn't even have a physical body for us to look at and dissect and pick over yet. Okay, so I just want to kind of go back to that. Right, this was a discussion that we had, like 12 hours ago, right, in the wee hours of the morning. So there needs to be some fleshing out for like group discussion, and I don't know exactly how that's going to look. I don't know the details as to how things are going to necessarily happen, but there was discussion that there's a timeout feature in Discord. So yeah, depending on how that works, that might work perfectly for what we need. I think we need to decide exactly what we're going to do, and then, with the information as to how we can potentially do it, and then decide how that's going to work. But yes, under the idea that, the starting point that we're going to maybe start from on this, there would be a way for family staff to say, look, this community member needs to be shut down right now, but not in a permanent way. You're not making a permanent decision on a ban. That's only going to be hobo and vet, right? So, but you can time them out. We'll use the word timeout, limbo, whatever, because eventually we're going to have more than just a Discord. So you'll be able to do that everywhere. So basically you isolate that individual from continuing doing what the family staff thinks they're doing wrong or that's unacceptable until a decision is made as to whether they're banned or not.
So I hear from you, and I feel like I also see in the chat a few items, and I want to potentially be counter to the community and what you guys are suggesting. When you're talking about this list of bannable offenses, I think we all agree. Go ahead.
So you're kind of going back to Mr. Bill's thing now, right?
Yeah.
So I just this morning I read again the rules, right, on the Discord, and there are some good rules in there, but I don't think they're as inclusive enough for what's bannable or what we are deeming as a community is unacceptable, right? I mean, there's very nicely worded statements about, hey, we're a gaming community and that's what our focus is, and that's what we should stick to, right? But there are some other things that maybe need to be more specifically spelled out so that people who are confused, or people who, we all know these people, we've run into these people before, want to split hairs and kind of push things to the limit, you can say, look, right here, this is the line, you've crossed the line. Now,
Thank you for teeing that up for me. That's exactly the point I want to counter. I don't think we should do that.
okay, that's fine.
No, and I'm not saying
That's fine, because you're the one making the decision as to who's banned or not banned. So you can go by whatever rules you want.
Exactly.
Right?
No, we
said
still
last
hold
night,
ourselves
you're
to the same
expecting
rules.
to do a pretty good job of this, right? With, you know what your vision is for the community, right? And so
I'm not saying we can't spell it out, but my opinion is we shouldn't spell it out, and here's why.
I'm not saying to get super specific, but there are some things that I think are kind of basic that are missing from the rules that I'm fine to have a discussion with at some other time. But like I said, we're just we're dissecting bodies that don't even exist yet, kind of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In this discussion.
The point of this meeting, though, this is our leadership panel, so we learn. This is where we slug it out.
Right. I mean, but you can't discuss a proposal that hasn't been proposed yet, right? It was just a discussion.
No, yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, part of
It's
this
much
is
easier for people to read and to get a better idea of exactly what's in the proposal when there's actually a proposal for people to review and read.
Well,
right?
The purpose of this meeting is to get some of our ideas for the proposal from the community. And just to say one more thing, I wanted to kind of say, hey, we didn't write the rules super clear on what's what's bannable, what's not bannable. One thing that
for example, in the rules, there's nothing about sexual harassment.
if I have to
that's
tell you
something
what
that's very
sexual
important.
harassment is, I don't want you in this community.
Yeah, we
Okay, that's
require
great.
if we require all members to engage in a respectful and constructive manner, sexual harassment is not respectful or constructive.
I totally agree with you. And if you guys are comfortable with the level of detail in the rules, then I'm fine with it as well.
Yeah, we did it that way somewhat on purpose because when it comes to the type of demographic that we reached out to and what we really want here in Omni, if we have to sit down and lecture you on what is appropriate and is not appropriate, it just may not be the best community for you. And you know what? We can still be friends outside of this community and everything, but this place, I don't want to say it's a safe space or anything, but, you know, it should be a pretty respectful place. I shouldn't have to open the Discord and see nasty pictures, or I'll tell it to you this way. I have mature teenagers, right, who are on Discord. I don't hesitate to let them in this Discord, right? To a point, right? But I probably would hesitate other Discords that I'm in that don't have the same rules, that can post pretty gross and explicit words and nasty gifs and things like that. I probably would hesitate because I have access to all their phones. I have access to all their Discord. I have access to all of that, and I see what they look at. But here, I wouldn't feel... Sure, they'll see a cuss word every now and again, but, you know, they live with somebody that's been in the Army for 18 years, so chances are they may have heard me slip up and say one or two. But I typically don't cuss around my children or anything. But I kind of put it like that. I judge it like that. I wouldn't hesitate to put my teenage son in here.
Yeah, no, it's fine. If you guys are comfortable with the level of detail and you guys are comfortable with acting as the people in charge of the banhammer, if you guys are comfortable with that, I'm fine with it as well.
Well, and it's not just you, Ann. I think Shroomage and Mr. Bill, multiple people brought up this need for clarity. So I want the community to also, what do you guys, here, let me say it to you like this. We had a person who approached me and said, hey, your profanity rule's not clear enough. It says that we can't curse at other members. Does that mean that I'll be in trouble if I say fuck you? Like, if I have to clear something up besides be respectful and don't we kindly ask that profanity targeted toward others or contributing to communication clutter not be used. You know, if I have to go more than that, it's probably a problem, right? We have a culture problem. You're probably not a good fit. I do not need to explain it any more clearly than what we have written up.
And know your audience, guys, because like Mike Peluso and I's conversation one-on-one is going to be way different than, say, H Squared and I's conversation, right? H Squared's a lady. I don't curse around women. I treat them with respect, right? But Mike Peluso, that guy can... Yeah, we'll save that for another time. We're not on stream.
I'm not the most elegant.
But that I know Mike, right? I've known Mike for a decade, so I know that one-on-one, him and I, it's weapons free, right? But you know, maybe my conversation with Aeon is a little bit different than it is with Mike.
Better not be.
And so, what do you think about that, Shroom or Mr. Bill? I mean, I think a lack of clarity is important because if you get into the detail, the weeds, then you get away from the vision and the culture, right? It's if we have to explain it, then we're doing something wrong.
I think it's kind of. Let me. I got something to say real quick, Peek. Kind of piggybacking off what we've all.
Bunch of Kanye Wests in here.
I know.
I'm gonna let you finish.
But... I'm taking your award away, Peek. Don't worry. Yeah. Beyonce's the best singer, not you, T Swift. Pete Swift, I guess is a better way of putting it. When we were initially starting this, it was we were all sitting down and talking about it, and Hobo was giving us the choice, asking us to chime in on our rules and regulations and stuff. So, like I said in the chat, I mean, we kind of came down to a position where, the whole thing is just be respectful. I mean, if you can't, just because you could say something to your friend, it doesn't mean that you could say, you know, you could talk about that when somebody new comes in, because you don't know that person. Like that said, me and him talk to each other in one way. But that's because we know each other for, you know, 10 plus years. Hobo and I could talk to each other one way because we know each other like that. But it's essentially read the room. And like I said in the chat, just don't be a dick. That's all. That's all it is. I mean, it's don't cuss somebody out, you know, like, and you know, verbally and berate them. I mean, your sexual harassment stuff should be like automatically common sense, and you know, in the rules. I mean, it's, you know, most of us have been in TG, and we all followed by those rules and regs. The only thing that we're loosening up on is the fact that you can cuss. Just don't be cussing at people or cussing out people or calling them racial, you know, like derogatory or slurs or, you know, homophobic remarks or anything of that nature.
Well, and if the only people who actually have the power to ban are Hobo and Ved, then, you know, the fact that everything isn't specifically spelled out is fine, because you don't have to worry about 10 different people having interpretations of it. Right?
Yeah.
So just to continue this on just a little bit more, I see the merit in a more vague rule definition, because our community is different, and you see a lot of, like, I don't know, let me look at the communities that are on the side of my feed. Okay, I'm Linus Tech Tips, I've got BattleBit, I've got EFT, I've got a million other, you know, communities, and you probably look at any one of the rules, and they spell out specifically, don't use this word, don't use this word, don't use this word, don't do this, don't do that, and their rules are, you know, a page and a half long, but it's because, you know, a lot of their members are children, and they don't understand, and, you know, or they're in their edgy phase and want to, you know, get a reaction out of people, and, you know, maybe those kind of people aren't what OG Omni is for, and like Hobo was saying, it's, you know, we're all, a lot of us are friends, a lot of us know each other, and a lot of us know that, you know, we have those values that, you know, don't demean, you know, your squad mates kind of deal, and you know, we're building this family atmosphere, and I see the merit, and I think that's the way you guys are looking at it, is, you know, if you're here, you're not here to destroy Omni and make it a bad place to be. You're here to relax and have fun with your friends, and, you know, not hurt anybody. So I see where you guys are, and maybe it's tough in this world with all these communities, with all these very specific rules, to not do things, to see how this rule set is, you know, can be successful in this community. So yeah, I don't know if anyone has anything to say on that, but I think for our community it works, and that's why obviously Hobo and that you guys thought that was gonna be beneficial here, but I don't know. That's the difference I see. Like, our community is not the same as, you know, the 80,000 people that are in Linus Tech Tips, you know, Discord, right? So we don't have to cover everything.
Yeah, at the point that you depend on some pre-written rule to understand how you should take an action, like the army. Oh, it's not in the SOP. Like, there's no SOP.
It's
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. You said that, and it made me laugh, because there's a new season of I Think You Should Leave. It's a Netflix special. Tim Robinson, he's a comedian, and he makes really funny skits, and they're wild, and they're crude, and, you know, they're funny. They're funny for me, and maybe they're not funny for everybody, but there's a scene where he's going to a haunted house, and the tour guide says, okay, like, this is an adult tour, you know, there are no rules, and Tim Robinson, the weird guy who's attending it, goes, oh, there's no rules, right? We can cuss, right? And the guy goes, yeah, you can cuss. So every sentence he uses like 6 or 7 vulgar cuss words, and after a while, the guy's like, "Come on, you're ruining this event for other people," and it's because Tim Robinson is just using every word in the book because technically he's allowed to, right? And I think if we base our community rules off of like technicalities and specificities, and I don't even think it would benefit us anyways, because no one who's OG, not what's the word? No one who's a good fit in OG is going to be looking at that anyways. So we all know that that's not just because you can't say that word. All of a sudden you're going, oh man, I really wanted to say that, but now the rules say I can't, so I can't, right? But if anyone's seen I Think You Should Leave, I think that'll maybe resonate a little bit.
I mean, there's definitely 100% chance of like when we discuss this, there's a difference between saying fuck because you got killed versus just sitting there pulling a sentence like that. Because I mean, obviously, even for people that even for us that have bad mouths, I mean, it gets irritating when people just say words just because they think they can say words and string them together. I mean, that crosses the respect line, because it's not about cussing, and at that point it's just being irritating and disruptive.
Right on. Well, we got 10 minutes left, technically speaking. We don't have to exhaust it and hang out for the sake of hanging out. But is there anything else any of you have, or anybody in the community has, y'all want to talk through?
We have a soundboard now. Y'all have fun with that.
Mm-hmm.
It's only got a few sounds. I'm adding more and more and more. But we have a soundboard now. It's got some gangster sounds. I'm putting some game related sounds in there too. I'm just smooshing through some things. Website updates. Ripping M&K. Our website's functional. Sign up with Discord. The soundboard. Anytime you're in voice chat, there should be at the bottom left of the screen, but bottom right of your menu, there should be a little soundboard button that you can access from your computer, and you can hit buttons, and it makes sounds. Oh, okay, yeah, on mobile, I don't know if the soundboard works. So, from your computer, it works. I would do it in this chat, but it's disabled for the leadership meeting, but any other voice chat should have soundboard access.
I do have something I want to bring up just because of the update on the website. Will there be a nice a bulletin board with all the different practices we have? Because with Omni, we're really unique. We have every day there could be something, right? Is there a way for our community to look at that and see what's going on, what practices are putting? Because I know in Discord specifically, you have to be like part of Destiny to see the Destiny schedule, or part of COD to see what days COD's running.
One of the plugins I would like to throw Taylor's way for the website is for games that have a server, like Hell Let Loose. There is a constant updated not screenshot, but like you can see who's in the Discord talking and who's playing on the server for things like that. Okay. There has been discussion of you look at the website, you can see who's in what server voice channels, but I don't know that we'll go that route. I know we're still talking about it. We want to make the website cool, guys. I mean, it's not going to be, I know that everybody's super anxious and chomping at the bit for it, but the problem is you get what you pay for, and we're putting a lot of money into this, so we really want a super nice website. We want one with options, one that you look at the front page and it looks as active as we are. So it's kind of it's going to take some time. There's a ton of ideas going, and Taylor is obviously on vacation for the next week, but we are working on it.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we do have each individual family has their schedule. Can we make a like a bulletin board? What are these? What are these called? Where you can where you can post stuff. Can we set up a bulletin board like under the announcements,
Like a
where,
shout box?
yeah, so but it'll be like every single practice night we have is listed there, and only family and above can post, kind of thing. But a shop box, yeah, exactly where
I think
where
that there's
everyone
something
can
like
see.
that in the works.
What is that? Is that like a calendar, like an interactive calendar that we can add stuff to?
So Shoutbox typically, Shoutbox 1, your Don or your family staff and above can get in the Shoutbox, and they can shout changes at last minutes on the website too, and obviously with Discord as well. I don't know that we'll go the Shoutbox route. I'm giving what I've seen with previous Shoutboxes on other websites before. But also, yes, that the pinned messages, it works just like Discord but on the website.
Okay.
So I'm talking specifically on Discord, and not family specific. Like, I want everyone to be able to see that. Let's say you're in COD and there's a Frontier is doing Red Dead Redemption on Thursday, and just to create a more accessible family dynamic. And you may never know that Frontier even plays Red Dead Redemption, right? And you're free on Thursdays, but you would never know unless it's like posted prominently. And
Sure.
that's just something I found when doing some onboardings, was like, all these different schedules are split up by family, which makes sense, and I think each family should still have their own schedule. But
Well, just one point of clarification. Families don't have a schedule. Squads do. You can have 7 squads in a family, and all 7 of them have a different schedule.
yeah, but if you look at the Destiny family in the drop down, they have a Destiny schedule, and then each individual squad has their own practice day, right? You can see it individually.
We should do that for all the families, is what you're saying?
So I think each family already has that. Each family already has their, like, COD has their COD schedule. You can see each individual squad is listed, what squad type it is, and what day they practice. But what I'm proposing is that we have all that information in one location, accessible to the entire Discord, so that they can see, oh, hey, on Thursdays I'm maybe not working late anymore. I want to spend more of my time making new friends in Omni, and just to see what practices are available on that day, instead of having to individually add, okay, I want to add my COD role, and then I have to go filter through all the COD discussion, like chats, just to find that information. If it can be posted, every single family's information is posted in one location, so everyone can access that and be able to see what's going on, kind of thing.
I like that.
Can I weigh in? Hello?
Sure.
Yeah.
So it's not live yet on the Frontier, but that's something that I've kind of been conceptualizing. I don't know if we're able to share it with everybody here currently, but I've been working on a squad directory that sort of just lists what people do in Frontier. It lists the squad, kind of a contact list. It was more meant for like people to be able to say, hey, I'm going to look through the squads that are active in Frontier, and if they're recruiting more members, they're looking to expand their roster, they can kind of know who to talk to do that. I don't know. Family staff should be able to see it currently. Like I said, it's just a
I
concept.
posted it in the chat for you.
Yeah, I was hoping to get some feedback from the community as a whole to see what they thought of this, but the idea was that if it was good and we thought it was a good idea, to get it visible to everyone in Omni, so that they can kind of see what's going on in Frontier specifically. And like I said, the idea is to have either the squad leader or the squad assistant there, and list if they're recruiting, and if they are, it's an easy ping in this channel. Say, hey, at whoever, I'm looking to join a squad that does that. Can I come and hop in with you guys and see if I'm a fit for you?
Yeah, and the only way a member would be able to even know that that squad exists is if it's in not only in Frontier, but if it's in, if a COD member wants to join a Frontier squad, I think that needs to be a little bit more accessible, which is why I brought it up. But yeah, I'm interested in. I think I saw you post this, and I probably saw it late at night. But I like this concept, and if we can use that and make it more central, that's the sort of idea that I'm posing. Maybe that's something we could work towards.
Should each
just to make it more accessible.
Yeah, you don't really want. We don't want to use events for squad practices, right? You don't want 30 events every day.
No, so that's what I was saying was like if we can make.
What about just make a Google Calendar that we can have linked? Just have linked where everyone can have access to read it, and then give certain people perms. So that way, if you want to load up the month for the month of July, everyone you could see all the practices and everything such and such and events that are going on versus like as a whole in front of your face versus having to go down to every channel or shop box or whatever.
So I guess building on top of that, there is Google calendar plugins for Discord, like bots.
I have it. I have a Google Calendar tied to our event thing.
Or you can just use Discord events and set up practices and stuff that way.
Well, I have a bot that when you make an event, it publishes it to the calendar and vice versa. But the issue with squads is you have 10 squads playing on the same day, and it becomes a lot. Even on a calendar, you kind of have to split the calendar up by game because you got 10, 12 Call of Duty squads all playing one day.
I don't think what I'm proposing isn't to get a ping every time a practice goes off. I'm just saying to have a directory of what's going on Thursday. Oh, all of these practices are going on Thursday. What's going on Friday? Every single game and their practices goes on this day. Saturday, everything here is going on, right? And then for special events, we can obviously use events, the event feature, but I want the Omni to be more accessible to people who maybe just play COD and then realize that they can make friends in other games that they didn't know were being played in Omni, right?
I think it's solid, Peak. We'll make a channel. We'll have a global directory of squads and practices. But
yeah, that's a great idea.
I think that's a good way to call it, global directory.
Yep.
There's still just not an easy way to visualize it, or for me, my calendar is my life. I have a corporate job, and so I know if I have a 6 p.m. meeting or I've got to get up at 7 a.m. Monday or whatever, my calendar's nice. Google Calendar, I can sync to my phone. I don't know if anybody else is like me.
Yeah, so that's why I was kind of going with that when I was talking about that, Hobo. It was saying that you could click on it, click on the date, but instead of it just having all you would just see the time slots of every of a couple squads or practices or whatnot, and if there was a way to kind of link it towards something else, just say COD practice or what was going on that calendar versus just a square with everything in that, if that makes sense, based on a daily by times.
I have one thing at the end of this meeting, but it has to be at the end of this meeting that I wanted to do before we get out of here, and we're getting close, so.
Yeah, we're up on time. Why don't you take it?
So I just, honestly, I think one thing that I would love to do, and I would love to start doing, and we've been doing it, and I'm proud that we're doing it, is I want to give out some attaboys. I want to give out some attaboys at the end of every meeting. And I want to give some attaboys that people that are speakers in this chat. And I want to give some attaboys to some people that are not in this chat. We'll start at the top here. OG Shroomage, new Destiny Dawn, comes into a world he's not used to, comes into an entire family that's up in turmoil and fighting, and within a week, working with me, he's got it turned around. He's got everybody on his side, and they are more unified than I have ever seen them. Destiny is strong right now, and it's under the leadership of Shroomage, and I just want to quickly recognize what an amazing job that is. Xylo Firefox, I'm gonna go with him next. Dude's putting in the work, making some regulations, coming up with some ideas. I see him in chat all the time. He's reaching out to people. He's really taking this frontier thing by the horns. And I'm super happy and glad that he came over here and invested with us. And I want to mention Aeon and Epsi as well for coming over and investing with us, taking that role in the community team. We've seen some brain teasers, some great discussion come from them. They have been great devil's advocates for some of the things. And when those people get into playing those devil's advocate roles, it really, really, really cranks the thought process for us, and it makes us come up with great policy. Peak Master, you've been a workhorse, man. Same with Mike Pelusa. I'm going to mention you guys both together. Getting onboardings done, reaching out, being that voice of the community. That's exactly what the community team is all about. Squared, you are, I don't know what we would do without some of your admin duties and keeping us on task. So I just wanted to give some quick attaboys. I want to quickly mention Neuro, growing in Destiny, not only as a player, as a person. David M. Wag out there, LFGN, teaching new people. Plow out there teaching new people. Space Link, I've had a lot of experience with the Destiny world lately, so maybe it's a little bit of bias, but I wanted to mention them. I wanted to give some attaboys in the leadership meeting, and I wanted to broadcast that. I see Nuka in the Discord constantly. I hate talking and giving him any kind of compliment, but hey, give credit when credit's due. Gaming Chef, I see you out there active in the community, and I want to encourage you guys to keep doing that. So quick attaboys at the end of the meeting. You guys are doing great work. I want you guys to... Oh, Kryptonian Saint, I almost forgot about you, man. Kryptonian Saint basically sharpened most of a raid group the other day in Destiny, man. That guy is squad staff material right there. Capo material. Goomba, if you will. A Goomba. So, I wanted to give those attaboys out. Just some great work ethic that I've seen lately, so...
Sprinkles, stop having a higher Discord rank than me.
Sprinkles, you're also the man. Thank you.
Yeah, we haven't voted on awards or medals or whatever the heck you guys are going to come up with calling it. But once we do, we are going to start awarding those. And I really loved the idea at the other community team meeting where it's not just some image on a website. If you guys are willing, provide us a mailing address. I don't know what the heck it is. Maybe Squared will melt down some crayons and make you a cool little medal out of some melted crayons in an oven, or we'll make a patch. I don't know what the heck we're going to do, but I'd like to start sending people recognition for their contributions for the community. So we will, once you guys get off your boots and create the medals, I don't know what you guys are waiting for, or whatever you're going to call them, then we'll start issuing them. So I think that's it. Vet?
Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Wanted to give those attaboys out. So yeah, go forth and prosper. Game together, grow together, go do great things, be respectful to each other, don't cuss out your dons. Yeah. That's it, guys. That's all I got. Have a good one.
Yep, later.